You'll stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and roll call.
Honorary Commissioner Munn, Commissioner Griggs, Commissioner Mammarell,
Here.
Commissioner Margolotti,
Here.
Vice Chair Cervente,
Here.
and Chair Einberger.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any public comments?
Real quick, Chair, we just need to address the issue of Commissioner Griggs and Honorary
Oh.
Commissioner Munn being in attendance tonight. They did notify us prior to the meeting they had a conflict.
So they're both excused. Okay, thank you. So public comments?
Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to make a public comment? Chair, it looks like we have one person in the audience, Justin Hamilton Hole. I'll go ahead and bring him over to the meeting. Hi, Justin. Can you hear us?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. And I'm gonna say, welcome back, welcome home in person and online Zoom. I want to shout out for Dawson Way because I'm working with Dawson Way in like 2 years. I was 3 years, morning and afternoon, and I was just with you guys. Welcome back home.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you. Are there any agenda changes? Anyone? Nope, seeing none, we'll move on to approve the meeting minutes from May 12th, a special joint meeting of OSAC and PCS. Do I have
Motion to approve, May 21st, is it 21st?
12th?
Oh, sorry. Motion to approve May 12th minutes from PCS and OSAC.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, I will need to do a roll call since
Roll
we have some commissioners via Zoom.
Okay.
Commissioner Mammarell?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Margolotti?
Aye.
Thank you. Vice Chair Cervente?
Aye.
And Chair Einberger.
Aye.
Thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
may I say something really quick? Commissioner Mammarell, it's really hard to hear. Maybe he can turn on his mic or get closer to his mic.
Is that better, Commissioner Cervente
That's
or Vice
yeah,
Chair?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I guess that's it. We'll move on to business, which is to review the draft of the fiscal year 2023 work plan for the Parks and Community Services Commission. Director, did you want to start?
Sure, thank you, Chair. So we're going to continue. As you all remember from our last meeting, we had an amazing meeting talking about our future and the roles of this commission and realigning with City Council and getting in front of them and having some face time with them. And before you, we talked about what your draft work plan would look like for fiscal year 22-23. I believe I captured everything, but this is our opportunity to review that draft work plan and make sure that it is exactly what we discussed and what you would like to present to City Council when we do have our special joint meeting with City Council. And that's going to be on page 6 for everybody to look at of your packet.
So what I have as our draft work plan is to update the Parks and Community Services Master Plan and to really focus on access and inclusion for parks, playgrounds, programs, and events. That's number one. Number two, to discuss or delve into the fee philosophy. Number three, Clark Ranch Master Plan. And number 4, partnership and development with local nonprofits and the Napa Valley Unified School District Plan. So, any thoughts in the last month that you come up with anything else in addition? Any of the commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Cervente?
Well, there's been some issues that came up during the NBUSD Board of Trustees meeting and the council meeting last Tuesday, and it's the we might need to find a new spot for the skate park. And I have many community members raise some concerns and ideas of where it should go. So I think that should be also brought up to our attention, because I think it might be happening a lot sooner than later. So I'm sure the director has more details and a little bit more information on dates and all that stuff. Other than that, the draft looks good.
Oops, sorry.
Thank you, Vice Chair Cervente. I was just double checking with Liz to make sure that I wasn't in violation of anything before I opened my mouth. I always have to check. I'm still new here. I'm still learning. But yes, Chair Cervente, you are correct. We did discuss the land swap at the city council meeting, and there was, the city manager also released his update this month that actually discussed that as well with the Napa Valley Unified School District. And part of that conversation is relocating the skate park. We know that there is a desire to create an actual school environment, and we've always known that skate park it was in a temporary location, and we are just wanting to figure out where the best location would be for that skate park in the future. I know Jason has mentioned that this is something that he would like to discuss at the PCS level and get your guys' advice and feedback on that. And then we can present that to City Council as a plan or as your recommendation of where that location would be. But the idea is to enclose that campus and create a sense of security that the school has a desire to implement, and relocating that skate park and actually have park hours conducive to that feature, which would be from sunrise to sunset, unlike what it is now where it's only open outside of school hours. So we think this is a positive change for this community. We know that that is an asset, and we want to be able to continue to be able to provide that to this community.
So if I may, Vice Chair Cervantes' point is very well taken. For purposes of the work plan, that might be worthy of inclusion in the work plan as a Part B, recommendations regarding skate park location and amenities. That's just a suggestion.
Under number 4.
So
Sentence 1, include a new part, include a Part B right under A.
Oh, okay.
Part A is focus on access and inclusion for parks, playgrounds, programs, and events. B is getting a little more specific. Recommendations regarding skate park, I suppose location, and I'm not sure if I'm using the right wording, but location, maybe just a very broad planning for skate park relocation.
So That sounds like a great idea, but I think the timeline is not going to match up with this work plan. And the reason why I say that is because when we get in front of council, this is a proposed work plan for fiscal year 22-23, which would take place July 1st of this year and would go through June 30th of 2023. I think this element of the land swap is going to happen a lot quicker to Vice Chair Cervantes' point, where there is this desire to discuss it quicker than that. One of the challenges here is that we would have brought it to you this evening, but the agenda had already been posted when this information went out. We're not meeting in July. And then with a proposed joint special meeting with council, there really isn't going to be a lot of time for us to be able to discuss that. And I think they're looking for information now. So Jason had made the recommendation on Tuesday evening to make that part of the agenda at our joint special meeting to discuss with City Council. So what I'm asking for the PCS Commission is to most likely be prepared to discuss it at the joint meeting with City Council. Bring your ideas or suggestions then, because this land swap is happening very quickly, and the school has a desire to create more of a secured environment, and part of that would be relocating the skate park to put in a fence line.
Well, let me see if I can repeat it and, well, if I understand right. The planning, or the recommendation on the skate park will not even be part of our work plan. This is an action item for now.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
okay, and I agree, it should be on the next agenda item at our next meeting. Will it be possible to get a quick brief on the skate park and the current planning before that time?
I absolutely think that we would be able to provide some context to you, and that would most likely be provided in the agenda packet with the staff report, if that would be helpful.
Okay, yes, that would
Okay.
be. And I do believe, like, we have a pretty long history with the skate park, and we've kind of seen the Band-Aids that have been applied to the skate park over the years. So all of this is very welcome.
Yes, and we actually already reached out to the company that did the maintenance on the skate park, and got a quote from them to figure out how much that cost would be to relocate it. And then there will most likely be some construction costs to make sure that we put it on, a firm surface, like a concrete pad. So this would be a part of that discussion, as well as understanding the cost of relocating it into more of a permanent location.
Right, so that's something we all need to be thinking about before, before the August meeting then.
Well, we'll see the brief before we go to the meeting. With regard to the work plan, it's overall is very good. I just think some tweaks would be, well, maybe this would be appropriate to discuss some tweaks.
Yeah, I think
First tweak
that's what we need
that
to
I
do.
wanted to bring to the floor was point 1A is focus on access and inclusion for parks, playgrounds, programs, and events. I wanted to make sure that I focus on, for want of a better word, cultural diversity is included in the program and events area. I know that's something that was a priority for council for a long time, and it actually seems to be happening, but because we're, i.e. Juneteenth, et cetera. But I just think it would be nice to formalize that when we bring this to council. Just that idea of cultural and culture and diversity in our programs and events.
So could we add that, focus on access, inclusion, I'm sorry, what were the words you said?
Okay, so here's a suggestion. Focus on access and inclusion for parks and playgrounds. That's a separate item.
Yeah,
Then point B focus on programs and events which highlight cultural diversity.
I think not only cultural diversity,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got you, Chair.
but
Yeah,
age,
right.
LGBTQ, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So I don't know how we could maybe say that succinctly and not list everything.
Community inclusivity?
We can always make it 2 items. So whenever I describe this community to people of where I work, I always say that I work in an amazing community that is very cultural diverse, and it's a multi-generational community. And that really should be our focus, is that we're meeting those 2 needs through all the programs and services and events that we offer to the community. So I think we can easily add that on as a B, an option B. So it doesn't have to fit in with option A. We can always just have it be its own separate item.
Yes.
Yeah, I like multi-generational.
Too.
I like
That's
that.
wonderful. Yeah.
So we'll just make that B, huh?
You'll see that in the budget. You'll see that word in the
Good.
budget.
Good. So cultural inclusivity and multi-generation,
Or cultural and multi-generational
inclusive.
programming and events.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Focus on cultural diversity and a multi-generational community for program services and events.
okay, good. I like that.
This is being recorded, correct? Thank you.
So Commissioners Margalotti and Cervente, do you agree with that?
I do, yeah. Thank you. Great input.
Sounds good.
Good, okay.
Regarding fee philosophy, I guess it's an open discussion on whether there's any tweaks necessary for that. I mean, certainly the need for fee philosophy has come out in many different areas. So I'm just going into this for council. Will they need any background, explanation, definition, et cetera?
So I know prior to me coming to the city of American Canyon, there was some work that was done on developing a fee philosophy. I know that we had a consultant, and it was presented at the PCS, and I believe even at the OSOC level, but it never got presented to city council. What I would like to do here is not start from scratch. I would like to utilize and review the work that has been done. And if we need to, bring, my idea is to bring it here and discuss that. Does this philosophy meet our current needs right now? Is it going to meet our future needs as we continue to grow? And really just open up that conversation. And I think it's more than appropriate having that at this level, because we will be presenting it to City Council as something that will be a living document that guides us on how we structure our fees, who gets charged, what is subsidized, and then, hopefully mirroring with the city's process on fee increases and when those occur and why those occur. So I absolutely would think that we would take the current work that has been done, bring it back, review it, since it's been a while since we've all seen it, and then make any minor changes or suggestions, or add something, delete something, and then we would present it to council.
So maybe it should say review of fee philosophy rather than,
I would say review and develop, because we are still in that development stage.
Correct. You're correct, Dr. Akita. It was never brought to council. In fact, Chair Einberger and I were on the subcommittee,
yeah.
and
So-
there was a lot of work involved.
Exactly.
Even being on the subcommittee, though, I know I'm going to need a refresher. Just as an overview, we were looking at how much the city subsidizes certain events because of a great public benefit versus subsidy for events and programs that had minimal public benefit. And obviously, there should be a correlation between how much a user pays for that versus other city residents.
Yes. You- Sorry, Kathy, or Commissioner Margolotti?
Yes, I was just gonna say, definitely good to review. I know we did a lot of work with the consultants, and I really like the process that we went through, identifying the different programs and who they served or how many people they served or whatever the input was that we gave in that entire process that I thought was really valuable, and it definitely, I think, answered a lot of questions about the programming and how things are charged. So definitely not starting from scratch, because I think a lot of that information, wherever it lives, I think we were almost complete with it, it seems to me. So it'd be good to have that as a review.
Okay, so everyone's good with review and develop then, fee philosophy? Oh, Commissioner Cervente?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I actually don't even remember what we got debrief on. It's been so long. But just to get Director Akita to speed, we seem to be we have seen in the past, we have seemed to do a lot of consulting but no action. And I heard at city council meetings public comment of members of our community that are just tired of paying a consultant and then we don't do anything. So I commend you on just, not starting from scratch. So yeah, let's get to work as soon as possible. Thanks.
Okay, so moving on then, excuse me, to the Clark Ranch Master Plan. Any comments? I guess it would be,
Yeah, Chair, I suppose the tweak with the Clark Ranch Master Plan, and where I last recall it, where we left off was the development of the partnership with ACCPF, and I suppose other partners.
yeah, I think,
Yeah, and there was a, there was a situation about the Clark Ranch Master Plan was already fairly well developed, and kind of more curveballs were being thrown into it,
yeah.
for want of a better term.
Yeah, I was part of that, and we thought we had it pretty well figured out, but apparently it was unfigured. So,
Well,
yeah, looking at
yeah,
that
and
again.
I'm gonna chime in here too, because I work with Chair Angenberg on that committee. We worked a lot of hours trying to get the plan, the whole master plan for that park, and then two of the major partnerships pull out. The bird sanctuary, Napa Wildlife, and then ACCPF, they both decided to go to other spots in Napa and in town. So I'm not sure what to do. Are we starting from scratch, or what are we? And this is something, this item, I feel, it's one of the items that we would need to involve OSAC in to plan as well. So I don't know what the rest of the commission and the director thinks about that. That's all.
Any thoughts? I certainly don't think we should go back to the beginning. I mean, too much work was done.
It was a lot of work,
Yeah.
Chair.
We need to
you're right.
review that and see what's happened since and look at what's happened since.
Yeah. Perhaps we should meet as an ad hoc again. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, meet what?
Meet as an ad hoc committee again and just sort of review and see where we're at? I don't know of an easier solution right now.
So I think the purpose of this conversation that we're even having of looking at our roles and aligning with the city's organization and connecting with the council, I don't have an answer on the ad hoc, but I don't think that would be something that we would be doing. The whole purpose of this work plan is to discuss it as a whole here at PCS, and not break off into a separate entity and discuss it. This is a advisory committee. That's what this committee was established as, is to advise on parks and community services of the city and provide that recommendation and advice to city council for them to review. So if we,
In commission.
I'm sorry, commission.
Commission.
Thank you. So if we could just have the idea that this would be a group effort from this entire commission, of us focusing on of what the Clark Ranch Master Plan would look like, that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing that I'm not sure or clear or confused is it's not longer a master plan. Two of the major partnerships pull out. So if somebody can help me understand how we're going to do a master plan that is no longer masterful.
Well, the master plan is still a master plan. It doesn't talk about funding and where that funding source is going to come from. It's more of like, what's the vision of that park? So I think the purpose here is, we had this beautiful idea of what Clark Ranch was going to look like, and the funding pulled out. And now we have the 4-H club that is currently in one of those locations. And how do we transition that idea of that development of that park, and it's almost like a Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0. It's kind of evolved to that, right? I mean, and again, just like anything within this community, things evolve, things change, and interests change. And I think this is an opportunity to relook at that, look at all the hard work that you guys did put into that, and try to come up, what do we do with that space? What is feasible? So that way, to Vice Chair's point, we can deliver. I mean, that really is the goal, is to deliver. And what does that vision look like with the funding sources?
Yeah, I agree. Any other thoughts?
Oh, yeah, just to echo everybody else here, things changed. You know, we have to deal with that. Stakeholders changed. But also, I think new stakeholders kind of came in. So, and frankly, folks that we're used to dealing with. So, what we have to bring to council, I believe, is an update, identification of our current stakeholders, probably, locking them in with a promise of, memorandums of understanding, and well, actually, Director Aikida said it really best. Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0. I think we can make it better than the last one.
And I
frankly.
think so. And look at the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just disregard that.
Absolutely. That work
take-
will not go
yeah.
to waste.
Take what's still relevant from that and put it on.
And I know with me coming on here and trying to get caught up to speed on all the projects and the grants that we have out there, I know one of them is the environmental grant. I think it's the Habitat Conservation Grant. Please forgive me if I am not citing the correct one, but the idea is to create an outdoor education space and a permanent restroom at the wetlands, and that would be part of that plan of re-envisioning what we want to do with that space. And then with the possibility and the discussion of the Eco Center coming in too, it's like, how do we tie that in? There's also the Measure AA grant, which right now we are having a consultant do the conservation work and assessment to bring in a kayak launch. Where is that going to take place? So I think with all of these mini projects, it is going to turn into a Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0. And it may not be what you originally envisioned, but it's going to be a new vision that has a lot of exciting elements that I think this community is really looking forward to.
Perhaps in our work plan, we already start
isn't-
branding it as Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0.
I'm curious, isn't the kayak lounge going to be at the proposed just
Eco
just
Center?
need clarification? That's gonna be at the Foundation's environmental park by Public Works, right?
No, not necessarily. So right now we have a very large footprint that is being surveyed by the consultant with the Measure AA grant. And they are surveying a very large portion of the wetlands. And that is including the Eco Center or the future side of the Eco Center, all the way down the river line over to where Clark Ranch Master Plan is, and then there's the Eucalyptus Grove and all that. So it's kind of, we called it the bunny. It's terrible. I know I'm not describing this at all, but it's a very large footprint, and the reason for that is because they want to, at some point, there's a bridge there with a pipe, and so they're trying to look at the currents and everything and trying to get a more natural current within the river, and where's the best place for a kayak launch for the community to access it. So a location hasn't been identified, but it is part of the idea that it would be down at the wetlands.
Anything else on the Clark Ranch? Nope. So moving on then to partnership and development with local nonprofits and the Unified School District Plan. Thoughts on that?
Chair, actually, that seems pretty clear and straightforward to me. I think we were also kind of riding this very cool and interesting wave of nonprofits in our town really stepping up and doing things, which is exciting. I mean,
Very.
yeah, I mean,
Very exciting.
yeah. You know, all of the commissioners here are, if I could say so, pretty much on the cutting edge of that. So, yeah, that's the one part I don't think needs any improvement. We're just gonna sit down and do it.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while, so we need to do it, yeah.
And just to make a comment, I think it will very nicely tie in with the fee philosophy. I think within the fee philosophy, we do need to recognize what a nonprofit rate looks like here in the city of American Canyon for facility rentals and park rentals, or if it's if it's the process that we're currently doing now, where we partner and the park is, you just rent the park and we know that that's the partnership and there's no exchange of monetary value because of the type of event of what that's doing for this community. There's a bigger value there of creating this community, this sense of community and this experience. I think we should absolutely recognize that in the fee philosophy program as well, and outline what is the nonprofit process in that.
Yes, completely agreed. And that is the essence, I think, of the fee philosophy structure. You know, if the nonprofits are doing something of great community benefit, maybe we don't have to pay that much rent for the community center versus a private party. I'll tell you, renting a park for the whole day for a private party is $50. What a bargain. I would, you know, yeah, just as a resident, if I was doing that, I think that there is a reasonable expectation for us to up that fee. There you go.
Agreed. So-
Yeah, I agree. That's when they actually pay the fee. Sometimes they just go in and have the party.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like my family party was subsidized by the city.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
you.
not fair.
Commissioner
I mean,
Ramos.
speaking as a commissioner, that's not fair.
Yeah, no. Especially the parks that are for rent have so many amenities. They're great parks.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah. we're
Well-
fortunate here.
Exactly. And it's a point of education for our residents to know that, you know, if you're gonna pay for these amenities and for the upkeep of our amenities, you gotta pay your fair share, which is probably more than
Yeah.
$50 a day.
Yes.
yeah, because I feel like that doesn't even cover the fee, the salary of the folks that are, you know, coming and cleaning the park and putting the garbage and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely needs to be. And the other thing, there are a lot of parks that are used very frequent that they're not even on that list that you have to pay a fee. So maybe add those. I know Silver Oak is first come first serve, Veterans is first come first serve, and they both have the roofs, the roofs, and then also barbecue space. So we should be charging a fee for those as well, I feel.
Yeah,
So that's part of our work plan.
part of our work plan.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on this? No? Are we good then?
Great. Oh, okay.
Chair, we have one public comment from Karen Fritz. Hi, Karen, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, you have 3 minutes, Karen?
I just wanted to ask a question in regards to your fee structure for the parks, and you're discussing increasing those fees. That's probably okay for, you know, a lot of folks. I'm just curious about those that live in our very expensive little town that would like to celebrate a child's birthday or some type of celebration like that are on a very low income. Is there a special rate for low income folks?
I can answer that. So currently, right now, all of our group reservation picnic areas are reservable for residents only here in the city of American Canyon. The reason for that is because our parks are very popular, and we want to make sure that our residents have the access to those amenities where they live, work, and play. The fee for the day is $50. If you get one of those parks that have a restroom, you will pay a deposit just for the key. That deposit gets refunded to you back, after that key gets returned back to the office. We work very closely with ACCPF, which is our local nonprofit, our American Canyon Parks and Community Services nonprofit, and they actually help us provide scholarships for families who are on fixed incomes. And so throughout the year, we request a certain amount of money for them to subsidize those programs or services or rentals. And any resident who meets those stipulations or qualifications can come down and fill out an application and apply to receive that funding to be able to participate in our programs, classes, and rentals. So the answer to that very long answer is yes, we do provide funding for families who are on fixed incomes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other public comments?
Yes, Chair Einberger, we have one more public comment from Justin Hamilton Hall. Justin, are you with us?
I am back.
Okay, you have 3 minutes, Justin. Go ahead.
I just want to shout out myself. When the COVID shut down, I go in the skateboard park and I always clean the garbage, pick up the bottle. And I look around, there's no table, there's no drinking water fountain over there. And I think we need to look at that little park right there and see if we can need to do something about the park. I know this near the school, back behind Dawson Way. If you go on the little bridge, there's a little bit space right there, over by near the skateboard. I love to go in there and pick up the bottle, garbage, and keep that place clean in there.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, and thanks for helping out.
That's the end of public comment, Chair.
Okay, so moving on to management and staff reports.
Sorry, Chair, just before we move on, I want to make sure that I captured all of our changes for the draft work plan for our joint meeting with City Council. So for item number 1, which is the Parks and Community Services Master Plan, we're going to keep A as is, and we're going to add B with a line that outlines making sure that our programs, classes, services, and events serve a cultural, diverse, and multi-generational community. Number 2 is our fee philosophy. Review and develop the fee philosophy and make sure that we include the nonprofit information in there too if that is missing. Number 3, we are going to review and develop a Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0 that's going to include all the upcoming amenities that we are potentially could be the home for the wetlands. And number 4, we are going to keep as is, which is the partnerships and development with the local nonprofits and the Napa Valley Unified School District plan. Is that correct?
I think you have it. Any other comments? Nope. Okay. Thank you for summing that up so well.
Thank you.
Okay, so management and staff reports.
Perfect. So I have a very long report for everybody this evening. First, I'm going to start off with the city manager's update for this week, which included the land swap. So the city and the Napa Valley Unified School District they are working on a land swap, and that would include the current gymnasium, which is on the middle school property, and the Napa Junction Elementary School, and the community and the vacant lands at the Eucalyptus Drive on American Canyon Road. The reason for a lot of this is the city and the school district have they have an amazing partnership, and they understand each other's needs of wanting to make sure that we are serving the community. And one of the main things about the gymnasium in particular is that we originally went into this as a joint partnership. For the first 20 years, the city would own that property, and the school would use it during the day. They would be the leasee during the day. They would take priority, but then after school hours and on the weekends, the city would program it and utilize it for facility rentals. Well, we are now just coming up to that 20 years. After the first initial 20 years, the property would change ownership to the school district, and then the city would become the leasee. That changes a lot of things. Schools are held to a different standard than the public. They have to meet the education standards, and that would completely change how we would do programming in that facility. One would be we would not be able to host large events that would allow alcohol, because it would be technically on school property. And secondly, the school's actually looking to expand their programming. They're actually looking to bring on this an after-school sports program, which we are in support of. And so we think it's only natural where we could, there's this discussion that we would swap properties to, let me take 2 steps back, I'm so sorry. The conversation started because the property would be changing as of this year, and a lot of changes would be taking place. And the school has expressed a need to create a proper school environment and not share a facility and be able to serve their students. And the city recognizes that is a valid need. And during that conversation, we have Napa Junction, which is down the street from here, that is an unused property. That is a property that we are aware that does have, there is some fault lines in there, and the school has deemed it as an unused building because they have to meet the school standards. It does not mean that the city can't use it or we can't build on it, but we just have different standards and we have a little bit more flexibility of what we can do with that property. So the school district and the city have agreed to swap properties to meet each other's needs, and we are very excited about this agreement because it really does open up a lot of new opportunities for the city. One of the main things that I've recognized for our department is we're not short on land, we're short on facilities. We need classroom space, we need program space, and this provides a new opportunity for us to be able to program it. With the Napa Junction site, it does come with a multi-purpose room with a kitchen, which we can easily get it certified to be a commercial kitchen. We would be able to rent it out as facility rentals and still meet that need of this community, and that's currently something we're not doing right now. We also have the ability to program that space. It gives us more buildings to do programming and to expand our programming. And so the idea is that the city is going to, within the next couple weeks, they're going to finalize this agreement. We will swap properties as is. And the city will take Napa Junction, the school will take the gymnasium, and we, for the time being, until the city council, for the time being, right now, once we get it, we are going to try to program it the best way that we can until city council has that conversation and solicits public comment on what they want to see with that property as a blank slate. And what I mean by a blank slate is nothing there. And that's really where they're going to be looking to the community and soliciting ideas. Right now, I believe the Napa Junction property is about 15 acres. There is an opportunity to possibly purchase some more land that may be for sale. And so I don't want to say the vision is unlimited because it always comes down to funding, but this really is an idea of what do we want, what does this community need? And that's really where the city council will be asking the community at that point. But right now, we're really excited about this. We think it's a great opportunity for our city and for our department. And we just want to make sure that you did receive the city manager's news update and that you are aware of this occurring. Do we have any questions on this?
Quick question. The earthquake, the potential earthquake damage issue. Oh, the potential earthquake damage issue and mitigation of that, has that been explored?
I believe the city manager and both the city manager and the school district have thoroughly talked through this, as well as bringing it to the Planning Commission. They've discussed that. The Planning Commission has approved this land swap. We are aware that there is a fault line through the school, but the school is still usable. It's just not usable as a school site. As a public facility, we can use it for programming and things like that. Now, if we were to demolish that building and build a new building, we most likely would not build in the same footprint. That's why we're saying a blank slate. What would that entire piece of property look like? Knowing where the fault lines are and building in areas where we're not over a fault line. But as the building stands right now, it is in usable condition. It's safe condition for public programs and services.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we are excited because summer is starting. Our official first day of summer is going to be June 21st. We have a very busy summer planned from Rec Swim, which we are bringing back, our beloved Rec Swim this year, and it's going to be that traditional drop-in feel like 2019. We are not going to require residents or non-residents to pre-register. They are going to be able to come down to the pool and pay a drop-in fee and enter and swim at a Rec Swim time, which is going to be Monday through Friday from 1:30 to 4, and on Saturdays from 1:30 to 5. We are still continuing our beloved water exercise and lap swim programs. We've actually expanded those programs, and we've expanded our swim lesson program. The one thing that this community I have seen is during the summertime, swim lessons is very important. And I believe that this is something that we should be listening to because we are teaching a life-saving skill. And we are actually able to program it and be able to offer more classes this year. From group swim lessons from 6 months all the way to adult with our semi-private and our private swim classes. So those are happening. We also have our basketball, tennis, dance, volleyball, soccer, and so much more. To register for those programs, you're going to want to visit our website, which is thecityofamericancanyon.org. And on the other side, we also have some exciting new programs that are going to be happening. We have I shouldn't say new. July 4th is happening. It's full blown. We've made some changes to it. We've tried to look at the timeline. So the parade is going to start this year at 3 o'clock. It's going to follow into Com Park 2, and the festivities should be around 4 o'clock in Com Park 2, and then with fireworks around 9 o'clock when it gets dark where you can see it, and then we're going to end the evening with silent disco. I know.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing.
I knew about most of that stuff.
Yes.
But not the silent disco.
Yes.
Which is
yes.
amazing.
And then we are doing something new this year. We have Movies in the Park, which I'm very excited about. We're bringing Movies in the Park to the City of American Canyon. The first date is going to be on July 22nd at Com Park 2, where we are going to be featuring a Marvel movie. And on August 10th, which is going to be at Northampton Park, which is going to follow the Meet Me in the Streets event. And that's where we're going to be featuring Encanto. And then on July 30th, we have our S'mores and Meteors event. That's an amazing event down at the wetlands. And we are charging a minimal fee this year, just a minimal fee. For residents, it's going to be $6. For non-residents, it's going to be $7. It's a very popular event. Participants will be able to look at the stars with an actual... Excuse me, with an astronomer, and then we're going to do s'mores, and we're also going to do, I believe, silent disco at that event too. So lots of funness going down at the wetlands. And then one last thing, our picnic reservations are very popular, and we are, like we talked about earlier, we are booked out almost to the end of summer. Every single park here in American Canyon, every single weekend. It's very exciting. And so we've actually received a lot of interest about pool parties. And so we are starting a new recreation swim pool party rental during Rec Swim on Fridays and Saturdays. It is for American Canyon residents only. So if you are interested in a pool party, you just go on our website and you can reserve it very easily. And projects. We have a lot of projects going on. I know there's been a lot of discussion tonight about Clark Ranch Master Plan 2.0. Two of the projects that are happening down the wetlands. One right now is the Measure AA, I think is what it is, and that is they're doing the feasibility study and the site surveying and all that for the river to try to create a natural element with the lagoons, as well as where's the best place for a kayak launch. So that's that project. We also have the Habitat Conservation Project, which is the outdoor education center at the wetlands, including the permanent park restroom versus the portable restroom that's currently sitting right there. That is another project that's planned for the wetlands. This weekend, we have partnered with Troop 762, sorry, I think it's 762, who is with Zachary Bernard, and he and his Eagle Scouts are going to be down at the wetlands this weekend, and they're going to be filling in potholes, and they're going to be looking at uneven surfaces, and they're also going to be installing some trail signage on which trail that you're on, and it's going to be a beautiful project. It's happening this weekend, so if you see some Eagle Scouts out there, say thank you to them, because they're doing this on their own time. And I just would like to say that when I met Zachary, he was very impressive, and it's really amazing, the community partnerships and relationships that we have here in the city of American Canyon. It's very impressive. So I'm excited about that one. And then we also are going to be working with, let me find it. We are going to be doing a story walk down at the wetlands this summer. And we are going to be partnering with, I believe it's, sorry, give me 1 second. No, it's Napa. I forgot the full name. I apologize, I forgot the full name. He is with the Napa County Regional Parks and Open Space District, and we are going to be featuring a story walk down at the wetlands, and it's going to be featuring I Know the River Loves Me, and it's going to be in both English and Spanish, and it's going to be a book and with pictures and everything. It will be featured at the wetlands for 4 weeks starting July 30th, and then it will rotate to another park in Napa County. So there's 3 locations in Napa County that it's going to rotate to. The first week will be at Skyline Wilderness Park, then us, and then Moore Creek Park in St. Helena. And then one more, I would just like to take this opportunity and recognize Honorary Commissioner Mumm for her service. Unfortunately, she could not make it this evening. She had a prior commitment, but I don't want to miss this opportunity to say thank you for her service and for committing to this commission and for helping make American Canyon a great place to live, work, and play. And we wish her all the best in her future.
For sure, yeah.
Actually, if I may, to echo that, COVID was rough. I met Commissioner Munn in person twice during her whole term here. But I also had a lovely opportunity to go to the ACHS Scholarship Awards. And let me tell you, our honorary commissioner was greatly rewarded there. I mean, she made a wonderful showing and posted a picture of her, with her on my Facebook. And yes, also wished her well on behalf of my fellow commissioners.
That was great. So,
Quick question, Director Akita. The parade and table applications for the 4th of July, are they still open or not?
I just confirmed with my boss, and she said until Friday.
It's this Friday? Like tomorrow? Okay. Got it.
It's 4th of July it's summer's coming quick. I realize that today is June 9th and I just don't even know where the time is going right now.
Okay. Got it.
So any other questions or comments for the director?
Yeah, great debrief. Thank you for all the hard work. I was wondering if for especially hot days this summer, one of them starting tomorrow, if the department could post for swimming, open swim hours, if the department could post on social media and other means to spread the word when the pool is open. I know a lot of people are, and you know, I kind of give them the benefit of that because I know you have it on your website, but I think that folks are still not used to having open swim. So I'm wondering if we could spread the word and, you know, have all that info, you know, out there.
Yeah, I think that's a good
People are
idea.
wanting to use the pool, and that's fantastic. I feel I really appreciate that. It's just gonna be a drop in, and you know, I've been giving students swim passes, so that just makes it so much easier for our family and our students to use the pool. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. And other than that, it's great news. Thank you.
Do you mind if I touch on the social media
No,
really quick?
no.
So our department is currently working with the communications manager, Jen Kessenbach. She's amazing. And we actually noticed that very same thing, Vice Chair Cervente. The website is very helpful, has a lot of information, but it's not really hitting everybody. So we have recognized that. We've come up with a marketing plan. We're going to start social media flyers and blasts, as well as a newsletter. My June newsletter, you're going to notice it is going to have an update on a lot of the stuff that I talked about this evening. It is our goal to get this information out. That is something that we all recognize that we think that we can improve upon. So that way this community knows what's going on here in American Canyon. And I do want to plug, because I forgot to mention during my update, all of these amazing community events that we are doing throughout the city of American Canyon this entire summer, including in partnership with our nonprofits and local partners, are posted on the city website under the community calendar page. I really encourage everybody to take this opportunity to look at it, because you don't want to miss out on any of the fun. We have some pretty awesome things planned. I went to music at the Plaza, Friday nights at the Plaza. It was amazing. I just did my very first Meet Me in the Streets last night. We have our Pride event coming up on the 18th. We have our Juneteenth event coming up on the 19th. We just have some amazing stuff going on here, and I just really encourage everybody to take a look at our website, because you're not going to want to miss it. This is going to be the place to be this summer.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with the community calendar. Even, excuse me, I go to those meetings and it's just amazing, one event after another. So, yeah, I agree. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? Okay, thank you. So moving on then to commissioner comments and future items for consideration. So, commissioners, do you have comments?
I mean,
I
yes.
do. You can I'll go
for
ahead
it.
and start.
If anybody wants to go first.
Okay, Commissioner Margolotti.
All right. A couple things with American Canyon Parks Foundation coming up. There's some mini camps that are happening this summer, and registration's open now. Last week of June and first week of August, there's a garden science one, and it's a 2-day mini camp, and it's in the morning, and it's for ages 7 to 11. And for the also ages 7 to 11 on the August 1st through 3rd, there's Eco Explorers, and that's at the wetlands, and the other is at the Canyon Oaks School. So you can go on to acparks.org and register. There's a cost, but there's also scholarships available. So definitely check those things out. There's also a challenge starting July 1st. It's 100 hours outside challenge, and it can be individuals, it could be families, it could be corporate teams that sign up. Participation fee is $20 a person, and the first 100 participants to complete the 100 hours outside win a 64-ounce wide mouth Hydro Flask, and there's other prizes as well. Families, there's a different participation fee, and corporations as well with different prizes that can be won. There is a coffee morning at the wetlands on July 15th, July 17th, sorry, Sunday, July 17th, coming up. And then just an update that the Park and Play that was scheduled for this Saturday is canceled, and it will be rescheduled for the end of summer. So be checking out information on the website. So thank you.
I'll go next. So Saturday, June 18th at 8 a.m., there will be a neighborhood ride around American Canyon. And this is hosted by American Canyon Bike Shop, Julia and Steve Salvador, which I met at the Critical Bike event. They are the owners of the only bike shop in American Canyon, and I was so excited to meet them. They're full of energy, and just loved their vibe. And so they meet at the corner of Eucalyptus and Wetlands Edge, right at the school, Napa Junction School at 8. And it's about a 4 to 5 miles in length. So it looks to be a lot of fun. Just a reminder to the community that last day of school is June 15th. We're so excited to be on vacation, those of us that work at with the school district. And just be aware that there's going to be a lot of kids out, and drive safely. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Here we go.
okay.
Okay. On Saturday, June 18th, our neighboring city, Vallejo, is putting on the Pista Sanayan, which is a longtime Filipino festival. It's over in Mare Island this year. They have entertainment acts, lots of food, plenty of activities. But I also don't want to overlook that our LGBT community has their event, I believe it's in Shenandoah, on the same date, June 18th. Unless they moved,
Are you talking about the Pride event?
Correct, yes.
That's going to be at Com Park 2.
Oh, Com Park 2. Thank you for the correction there,
You're
Director
welcome.
Akita. Okay. Touched on this earlier, but yes, June 19th is a Juneteenth celebration of freedom for the African American community, and it's at Main Street Park, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. I do have flyers over here and for us, but there are some incredible speakers that are going to happen, and musical acts, and education, and food trucks, et cetera, et cetera. So. And our the American Canyon Arts Foundation's second Friday Nights at the Plaza is coming up July 1st, 6:30 to 9:30. The music is the Get With It Band. They are fantastic. Learning from last time, we are trying to get more vendors and more amenities out there. Just enjoy and dance. Let's see if there's anything else. Chamber of Commerce hat on. Thanks everybody for attending Meet Me in the Street. That was amazing. The next one is July, and the Arts Foundation is helping with, actually, on the main stage, there will be a Hispanic band playing traditional Hispanic music. and a roving mariachi band, and this little weird group called the Jam and Phil Lambs are still playing up at the car show. So there's that. And that's all for me, except I'll just close off with good luck, students and educators. Have a wonderful summer.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so with my Seroptimus hat, June 21st, we're having a picnic. So these things are all for adults 50 and older. So a picnic at the park at Shenandoah. We're going to take a walk, play some games, have a picnic. July 21st is another Zoom bingo. August 15th, we're meeting at the bocce ball court, and we're going to have lessons or teach people 50 and older how to play bocce. On September 11th, we're having an intergenerational program. It's Grandparents' Day, and so we're going to, it's in the works, but with young children and their grandparents. So we hope that'll be a lot of fun. And it'll be at Com Park 1. Yeah, Com Park 1. The picnic is at Sutherland. And then also in the fall, we don't have a date yet, but hopefully early fall, we're going to have a raising awareness about sex trafficking workshop. But we don't have a date yet. So that's it for me. Anyone think of anything else?
Are we hitting items for future consideration?
Right. So we'll go on to items for future consideration.
Chair, my only one is just to remember the CPRS report from me and Commissioner or Vice Chair Cervente. I did write an article about that for the CAPR-CBM, so that's on their website. But I would love to talk specifically about it and the cool things that happened over there, up to and including our dinner and award ceremony.
Yes, that was good. Okay, anything else?
agree.
Any commissioners have anything else?
I agree with Commissioner Mamaro. Thank you for, I was gonna bring it up too, Commissioner Mamaro. Thank you.
Okay. So, Director, anything else?
No, Chair, thank you.
Okay.
I just have a quick question, if I may. Is the joint meeting set for sure on the 23rd of August, or was that potentially not going to be that day? I know Liz had asked us our availability.
We did send an email out about the meeting being on the 23rd, but I believe we found out this evening that the fire district may be having a meeting that evening. So I need to confirm that, so the date may change. So we will send out a new updated email or confirm that date once I speak to the city manager.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, then the meeting is adjourned at 7:45. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.